As you can see, I moved. I am no longer in Philly. I'm in Los Angeles, California in my new place. That is all mine. That, if you saw my previous video, I talked about how I manifested it in less than 48 hours, basically 24 hours, somewhere in between. But I'm here and I'm so happy and excited to be here. It has been such a challenge to get here, but I am so grateful for it. And that brings me to what this video is all about: facing and experiencing challenges. Life is all about growing through the challenges that come up in our lives, and even the challenges that we throw ourselves into. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Julia. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're not. And if you don't already follow me on Snap, I've been posting all of my moving vlogs, all of my moving content on there. But I realized I haven't filmed a video since before my move, and I did backlog 3 or 4 videos just so I could have time here to kind of get settled in, which I'm still doing. I'm right now on an air mattress. We have a plant behind me, but I really don't have any furniture in here except for like a side table. So this has been quite a challenge for me. I've only lived here about a week and a half at this point, so not very long. And today I'm actually gonna order some furniture. Although moving myself across the country all by myself has been super challenging, it has also really gave me a new sense of confidence within myself, that I can have my own back, that I can trust myself, and that I can do things for myself for my highest good and bring myself to the places that I want to be, that I desire to be, that I feel called to go to. Obviously with the help of the universe. I'm not saying that I'm doing this without any help from anyone at all. There are definitely key players in here, and I'm not putting this all on me. And at the same time, this was my first time flying out here to move on my own. Every other time, because I've moved here 2 other times, so altogether 3 times, but the first 2 times my mom came to help me, which I really appreciate. And I also had roommates where I moved to. Well, actually the second time I didn't have roommates, but I got roommates within like 2 weeks of living there, so that ended up being a roommate situation, which was amazing, what I needed for the time. But this is my place just for me. I'm not looking for any roommates. I live in a studio, and that is the challenge that I'm experiencing right now, is how to be independent and also accept help from others and integrate others back into my life, because I spent a lot of time taking on the challenge of learning how to be by myself and be comfortable and feel safe and feel like I could have my own back. I spent probably, I'd say, the past 1.5 years really proving that to myself, and now it brought me here, which is amazing. So my new challenge, because I feel like I have conquered a lot of the challenges of being on my own, which there's still more challenges within that as well for me, but now I feel like I'm more focusing on how do I integrate others into my life while keeping this sense of having myself and having my own autonomy and staying authentic to who I really am, even when interacting with other people. Because for the longest time when I was younger, in my early 20s, it was like I felt like I needed to have people around me at all times when I was living in LA, because I didn't have family here. I wasn't super comfortable with the area, and I felt like if I didn't have like someone, I didn't know what I would do. And so during that period of time, my first 4 or so years of living here, I always had people around. I always had a bunch of roommates. I was in a relationship. I always had friends around. So me coming back now is like, okay, how do I do this but without feeling like I need everyone all the time? How do I do this while having myself? And I feel like I practiced that, having myself and being on my own, so much while I was living at home. Even though I had people in my house and everything, I spent a lot of time by myself and got really comfortable driving places by myself, taking myself places, grocery shopping by myself. I used to always do that with other people. So now that I'm here in LA and I have that like practice of doing all of the daily things on my own, waking up without anyone here, going to sleep without anyone here, and somewhat feeling comfortable about it. I mean, the first few nights I definitely felt a little scared, like, oh my gosh, like there's no one downstairs, like my parents aren't just beneath my bedroom, you know? Now it's like, okay, well, I do have my best friend down the street. I have my great aunt also down the street, quick drive. I am alone, but I have people near if I really need. And for me, the challenge is like, let me see how much I can do for myself before I go and ask for help. But also let me still keep in mind that I can accept help. Because sometimes, I don't know if this is just a me thing or if you can relate, but I will tend tend to get a little bit too extreme. So if I'm doing everything by myself, it's like I won't let anyone in. But on the flip side, if I'm doing everything with everyone else, then I won't do anything by myself. So now for me, it's finding the balance. I got really good at doing things on my own, but now let me also still integrate and incorporate other people, because if you are too skewed one way, that's not healthy. If you're too skewed the other way, that's not healthy. The beauty is in the balance in between. So my challenge in life right now in this chapter is finding a way to blend the two, finding a way to be an independent, autonomous person and still have people that I love and care about in my life close by and here when I need them, and maybe there for them when they need me. So right now I feel pretty comfortable living on my own for the moment. That's how I feel. It's been a week. I have seen a lot of people the past week or so, but this week I'm really setting aside to get things together here, start making this little guest house feel like a home. And then in a few weeks, I'm taking on the challenge of having my first guest here, who's going to be here for probably a few days, and then we're going to go on a little road trip up north probably. So I have a little bit of like apprehension about that, not because I don't want to do it. I absolutely want to do it. I'm super excited. I visualized this happening when I was living in Philly. I visualized this person coming to visit and all the fun things we would do. And at the same time, I'm nervous because I'm like, oh, I got so comfortable being on my own. It's going to feel so weird bringing someone into my world. How am I going to still keep my autonomy while having someone in such close proximity with me? And it's not to say that I haven't gone on trips with friends before. I have. I went on a road trip like 6 months ago. My brother stayed here one night when I first moved in about a week ago. It feels so much longer. I don't know why. I think because everything is new. A week has felt like a month, but that's a good thing. It feels like a great thing. Like it's not like, oh, it's dragging. It's like, oh wow, like we are learning and growing so much. Like time doesn't feel the same as it did when I was in my repetitive routines. Also, moving out here has made me realize that I need to change my routines. I have no sense of routine right now, but I am going to start implementing one this week. And as I do that, I want to make sure that I'm implementing a morning routine that is going to set me up for the best day, and my routine is going to set me up for the best night's sleep. All these things. I know I'm kind of like jumping from one thing to another, rambling. I really just turned on the camera and decided let's talk about facing challenges and how amazing that is. So coming back to the road trip, my friend is coming, and the apprehension I have is not about them, it's really about me. It's like, can I come back to sharing space and sharing time and company with another person while also staying within myself and not dropping and going into people pleaser mode or whatever the things I may have done in the past, because I have done that in the past and I want to do this with a fresh perspective. And I want to not perpetuate the old stories of having people close to me means I can't truly be me. I want to change that to I can have people close to me in my life and I can also be who I really am, and they can accept that and I can accept them. So that's the challenge that's coming up in a few weeks, which I'm sure I'll share more about as that happens. And the other challenge, like I said, is coming up with a routine that isn't going to become this like repetitive routine that isn't so great for me. Like I don't want to lock myself into something where I can't grow. Routines are amazing if they're helping your growth, but when they become copy paste from yesterday to today to the next day to the next day, where there is no room for growing within the routine, that's when you're not taking on any challenge anymore, and the universe is going to have to come in and wake you up. Because like I said, life is all about growth, and if we're not growing, we're dying. And to stay on this planet, we need to be in constant change, constant growth, constant evolution. The human race is always evolving. The birds agree with me. I also love this place so much because you can't really see through the window, but I have plant life all around me. I'm in a residential area. There's birds everywhere. There's trees, there's flowers. It's beautiful. And this was something that was non-negotiable for me. I didn't really want to be like in the concrete city part. I wanted to be in the more like residential plant life part, because Los Angeles is a huge city, and depending on which part you're in, you can get a totally different vibe. You can get downtown LA, you can get the beach, you can get the mountains, you can get some grass, you can get anything really. Hollywood, not my vibe. I've lived there before. But anyway, coming back to the routine thing, routines are great if it's something that you have set up every day or every week, where you go and do this one thing. For example, it could be working out, where you go there. The routine is the going there part, but every time you're there, you're challenging yourself to do the workouts that maybe grow your muscles or stretch you more if it's like yoga, you know, whatever the workout is. As long as you are challenging yourself to grow within the routine, that is a healthy routine. So as I look at my life and how I want to set up my little life here, I'm noticing that with my routines, because I am a very routine person and I really do enjoy having my routines, the only way I'm going to be able to have routines that actually cause me to grow instead of stay stagnant is if I can make sure that there's room within the routine for growth. So as much as I love making my same breakfast bowls every day, maybe that means making my same breakfast bowls every other day or every few days, and then adding in, you know, a different breakfast bowl. Or maybe it means I'm still gonna do my same breakfast bowl, but I'm gonna plan out really interesting lunches and dinners and meal prep them. So that way they're easy to have and they're healthy and they're interesting, and I'm not going out and buying a bunch of takeout or frozen meals. I don't know, I'm just making something up as an example. Or it could be like, I need to leave the house once a day, doesn't matter what I do, probably do a different thing each day, but I need to leave the house each day, get out and be social. So the routine is leaving the house, but each time I leave the house, maybe I'm doing something different. Like maybe one day I'm going for a walk, maybe one day I'm going to a coffee shop, maybe one day I'm doing some type of like social activity with other people. Maybe it's a picnic, maybe it's the beach, maybe it's painting in the park, that type of thing. And the best part about challenging yourself is even if you don't do it perfectly, or even if you mess up sometimes, you're still trying something new or trying to work towards things that you really want to do. Obviously, you could challenge yourself to do things you don't want to do, but I don't know why you'd waste your time doing that. And when you do start to accomplish those challenges, it creates so much confidence within you. And another thing when it comes to challenges, I like to use things that I would normally see as problems as challenges instead. So let's say I'm worried about finances because I'm living on my own in a new place that is pretty expensive. Instead of being like, oh, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna make enough money to live here long term, or I don't know if I'm gonna make enough money to buy all the things I wanna buy while living here, whatever it may be. Instead of being like, this is such a problem, like I'm gonna focus on the lack and I'm gonna bring it up to everyone I know and complain about it. Instead of doing that, I'm gonna see it as a challenge of, oh, well, here's the thing that I want to see if I can do. So that would be, okay, can I see if I can afford the things that I want to afford? Can I work towards that? Can I make that a challenge? Yeah, why not? It's the same as having some type of fitness goal and then going to the gym and working on that every day. Like maybe you have to try out different workouts. Maybe the first one isn't the one for you. Maybe the first business venture you try isn't the one for you, but you keep on doing it. You're throwing pasta at the wall and seeing what sticks. It's a challenge. And then you find one that sticks. Well, then you repeat that process. And if you like it and it works, you keep doing it. And there you go. You are working through the challenge. You are growing through the challenge and you are coming to the solution of that, which would be, if you saw it as a problem, the solution to the problem. And when it comes to problems, challenges, whatever it is, hurdles that you're trying to get over, if you have one, it's for a reason, because in a dualistic world, which Earth is, if there is a problem, there's a solution not too far from it. If there's a challenge, there's always a completion to the challenge coming right after it. And if you ever question the dualistic nature of this, just look at nature. Anytime there's a poisonous substance, not too far away from it, there's an antidote for that. So the next time you have a problem come up, see it as a challenge and remind yourself, if this problem, if this challenge, if this hurdle that I want to grow through is coming up, it's because I already have solved this in a different timeline. All I have to do is reach the frequency of that version of me and bring the two together, and there you go. I did that with this, moving here. It happened with inspired action on my part, as well as the universe bringing things to me, or whatever you see it as, God's source. All there is coming into alignment with my desire while I raise my frequency to meet it. Because a month ago, not even a month ago, was it a month ago? Literally a month ago to this day, I officially got this place. I officially signed the lease. It was mine. But a few days prior to a month ago, I didn't even know if I was gonna move here. I was kind of like, you know what? I am facing challenge after challenge, trying to find a place. You know what? If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. And I'm going to open up and allow whatever is meant for my highest good to come in, and I'm not gonna force anything. And lo and behold, it came through. Sometimes you gotta give up attachments. Sometimes you need to see things from a different perspective. Sometimes you just gotta let go of the idea of the thing that you thought you want. Because maybe what's supposed to come into your life is even better than what you can imagine. So take on the challenge, allow things to come to fruition, and let me know how it works for you. I will see you in my next video next week. I love you guys so much. Bye.